Hello, and welcome to our Bold Trail Back Office Day in the Life of an Agent. This session will cover everything you need to maximize your efficiency and boost your production. We will cover everything from working with buyers to submit offers quickly to creating transactions. We will show you how to utilize Bold Trail Back Office checklists to make documents and e-signature a breeze, and some additional features like the dashboard, pipeline, and even personal reports. We will start off today's training with buyers. Bold Trail Back Office allows you to easily capture buyer agreements, submit offers, and easily make that accepted offer into a pending transaction. Let's get started. When creating a new opportunity, ensure you are in the Transactions tab under Overview. Next, select the Create Transaction button here. When we get to our new transaction page, you'll notice there are 3 steps to creating an opportunity. This is the first step. It's essential to begin by filling out the 3 drop-down options along the top. The first option is Type. This is where you select the type of opportunity you are creating, whether it's a commercial deal, a traditional sale, or any other available type. I'll select Traditional Sale. Next is Status. We'll choose Opportunity. Opportunity status is used when you're working with a new buyer and need a buyer agreement signed and plan to submit offers for this buyer. It's also suitable for situations where you're working with a seller but haven't yet secured a listing. In Bold Trail Back Office, these scenarios are considered opportunities, allowing you to start building the transaction framework even before it's finalized. The last setting is for Representing. Use this menu to choose whom you represent on this new opportunity. I will choose Buyer in this example since we are working with a new buyer. Notice, now that I have selected Opportunity, where I represented the buyer, the only required field, highlighted in red, is the transaction name. This is because Bold Trail Back Office recognizes that at this stage, there is no property address or milestone dates, except for the buyer agreement date and buyer agreement expiration. These details can be filled out later, after the buyer signs the agreement. I will now name my transaction the Gregory family, since I am working with Keith Gregory and his family. I will proceed to Step 2 by pressing the Next button. Step 2 is the Agents and Commissions screen. This is used to set up representation on the opportunity. Since this is a buyer opportunity, we only need to look at the buying side. The platform already knows my brokerage represents the buyer, and I can see my brokerage name here. I can enter the buying side gross commission here, but since we do not have this amount, we can leave this blank as well. What I do need to complete every time is making sure I have added myself as the buyer agent by clicking here. Once selected, choose Add Agent to proceed. To add yourself as an agent, begin typing in your name. You will see a drop-down selection, then choose your name, or the name of the agent representing this opportunity. Now select Save to continue. We can now see that we have been added to the buy side as the buyer's agent. Let's press Next so we can add our buyer to this opportunity. In this final step, we'll add our buyer contact here. If the contact has not been created in either Bold Trail Back Office or MaxTech powered by Bold Trail, you'll be prompted to create the contact directly in this screen. For example, I'll add Keith Gregory. Since this contact is not yet recognized, I'll select here to set up the new contact. Once Keith Gregory's information is saved, you can proceed by clicking Create, or, if needed, add additional buyers to your opportunity by selecting Add Contact. Congratulations! You've created an opportunity for your new buyer. First thing I want to do is add a checklist so I can get my buyer agreement signed. Click here to add your checklist. Remember, checklists will vary for each brokerage, and the one I'm using is a sample buyer checklist. Here, on my checklist, I have my buyer agency agreement task. I will use this task to access and prepare my buyer agreement for e-signature. I will first ensure my signers are accurate on my buyer agreement, then press Next. Next, I will complete all required fields on my buyer agreement, ensuring complete accuracy. Once done, I'll use my drop-down menu over here to Send for e-signature. We can now see that we are awaiting a signature from our buyer here. Once signed, my buyer agreement will always be available here when sending buyer offers. Now, let's go send an offer on a property for the Gregorys. We can start within this opportunity by clicking the Offers section here. When creating a buyer offer, The quickest way to prepare it is to utilize your MLS and search for the property you are making an offer on. I quickly searched and located my property here, and I will select it. Now, ensure all property fields have been completed, and you have selected a checklist to use for this offer, then press Next. Now, ensure all participants are added to the contacts screen. This should auto-populate, but you can always add additional contacts here if needed. Now, press the Create button to create your buyer offer. We've now created our buyer offer, and I want to prepare and send my buyer offer packet for e-signature right away. I will select the I want to option, then choose my residential offer packet. This packet contains all the forms I need to successfully prepare an offer. I will review the signers and other parties for my e-signature packet. I will complete all of my form fields with accuracy, then send for e-sign here. Back at my offer homepage, I can see that I am awaiting on my buyer to sign the offer documents. If I need to make corrections on my offer and resend them for signature, I can utilize the three-dot menu here and choose Restart e-sign. This will restore my offer as I last sent it, allowing me to make corrections and quickly resend to my buyer. Congratulations! It looks like our buyer has fully executed the offer, allowing me to send it to the listing agent. To do this, select the I want to menu, then choose Send Email. When sending your email, ensure that you first attach the offer packet, then add the listing agent, and add any message you would like to go along with your executed offer. Lastly, check the Remove e-sign certificate option. This certificate will have your contact's email address and shouldn't be sent with your offer. After receiving a response from the seller, you can update your offer to a new status using the I want to menu. Available statuses are rejected. Use this to mark the offer rejected, then follow this process again when your buyer is ready. Second status is withdrawn. This status is used when your buyer withdraws the offer. You can follow this same process once they are ready to make another offer. Last is accepted. This status means the offer has been accepted, and this should now be a pending transaction. Marking this offer accepted will allow you to automatically create a new pending transaction using all of the information contained in this offer. Alternatively, you can choose to update the existing opportunity. This will take your existing opportunity, update it to a pending transaction, and you can get started on your closing documents right away. Amazing, right? Now you can get to work on those closing documents using the checklist we originally added to get our buyer agreement signed. You can see that Bold Trail Back Office has been designed to make working with buyers easy and efficient. Now, let's learn how to create an active transaction when we are listing a new property. When creating a new transaction, ensure you are in the Transactions tab under Overview. Next, select the Create Transaction button here. When we get to our new transaction page, you'll notice there are 3 steps to creating a transaction. This is the first step. It's essential to begin by filling out the 3 drop-down options along the top. The first option is Type. This is where you select the type of transaction you are creating, whether it's a commercial deal, a traditional sale, a rental, or maybe a short sale. I'll select Traditional Sale. Next is Status. Bold Trail Back Office offers 3 statuses when first creating a transaction. First is Opportunity. Opportunity we just covered, so let's look at the next 2. Next status is Active. Active status is used for your active listings that are on the market. Then Pending. Pending status is used for any transaction that is under contract and awaiting closing. I am working with a seller and will select Active. The last setting is for Representing. Use this menu to choose whom you represent on this new transaction. You can choose buyer, seller, or both if you represent both sides. I will choose Seller in this example. Now, since I represented the seller and chose a status of Active My Property Address fields, and possibly other fields will be required. Required fields are highlighted in red. In step 1, it is important to fill in as much field information as possible, understanding that there are other additional fields that can be accessed by clicking here. After filling in all required fields, milestone dates, and other information, press the Next button. Step 2 is the Agents and Commissions screen. This screen is used to set up the representation for this active transaction. I can see right away that my brokerage represents the listing side, so the first thing I need to do is add myself as the agent that represents this listing side by pressing the Add Agent/Commission option. Then select Add Agent. Begin typing in your name to add to the listing side. As you type, drop-down options will appear matching the name you are typing. Use the drop-down to select the appropriate agent. Once selected, press Save. Great! We've added ourselves, and we can see that we are receiving 100% of this listing, which will be calculated through my commission plan later. It's important that you do not change this 100% if you are the only agent. If we were to add a second agent, these fields would be used to split the gross commission between us and another agent. Now, we need to enter the gross listing commission here. This can be a percent of the sale price, or you can enter in a dollar amount. Leaving this blank will mean all commission participants make $0, so be sure this field gets completed. This is a 3% listing, so I will add it. In the top section, called Total Gross Commission, you will also want to enter a gross commission amount. Most brokerages populate it with the total gross amount represented by the brokerage. If we only represent the listing, this would be 3%, but if we represented both sides, we would enter to total commission of both sides. I will enter 3% here as well. At this time, we are able to press the Next button to continue to step 3. But if my brokerage did represent the buy side, I could also select it and add myself if I represented the buy side as well. Now, let's continue. Step 3. In this important step, we will add any important contacts to the transaction. These contacts can be sellers, buyers, title or escrow officer, and more. I at least want to add my seller, so I'll press the Add Contact option here. Now, I will choose a contact role from the drop-down menu. I want to add my seller, so I will select that. I now have a place to enter my seller's name, so I will begin typing it in. As I type, I can choose a matching name from the drop-down list. If no matching names appear, I will need to select the Create New option to add a new contact. Creating a contact is simple. Start by filling out the essential fields, ensuring you at least enter a first name and last name to save the contact. If the contact is a business, be sure to split the business name into first and last names. After entering the necessary information, remember to select whether the contact should be private, only accessible by you, or public, accessible to everyone in the brokerage for future use. The selection you choose will be the default setting for the next contact you create as well. Now that we have filled out the contact information, we can press the Create button to add this contact to our transaction. Great, we've successfully added our seller contact. Remember, you can add as many contacts as needed to any transaction. Simply press the Add Contact option and follow the same process. Let's press the Create button to finish adding our listing to Bold Trail Back Office. Congratulations! We've created our first listing. Now, let's learn how to navigate the essential areas of our transaction. First, we can see all of our transaction field information that we created in Step 1 here. Below that, we can see all users and contacts that are related to this transaction. And on the left-hand side, we can navigate different transaction features. Let's begin with the Edit button here. This Edit button is essential for keeping your transactions up to date. First, the Edit option is used when we need to update any transaction fields. Fields like price, acceptance date, closing date, or any other available fields. Below that, you can see other available transaction statuses. Use the Edit button to switch active transactions to pending or even canceled if a deal falls out. Next, create a copy. This allows you to quickly duplicate this transaction and even capture any documents and contacts you want to be added to the new transaction. This is helpful if you accept an offer on this listing, then later we lose the buyer. We can quickly cancel this listing, then create a copy, transferring all of our listing paperwork, the new listing. Next, in the checklist section, you can quickly add a checklist to the transaction. Once you have a checklist added, the Documents section will separate document tasks from action tasks, allowing you to see all your documents in one place. The Offer section in Bold Trail Back Office adapts based on your representation in a transaction. For the listing side, it generates a publishable URL, enabling buyer agents to submit offers directly, which you can manage within Bold Trail Back Office. On the buying side, it streamlines the process for creating buyer offers, obtaining buyer signatures, and sending offers to co-op listing agents, ensuring quick and accurate submissions. The Users and Contacts screen lets you manage your transaction contacts seamlessly. You can add or remove contacts and even generate and send emails, making communication and contact management efficient and centralized. The Activity section provides a comprehensive log of all transaction updates, capturing actions such as emails sent, documents added or removed, and other modifications. Each entry records the specific action, the user responsible, and the exact date and time, offering a clear and detailed history of the transaction's activity. Now that we've reviewed the key features for navigating a transaction, let's add a checklist and learn how to upload documents, send forms for e-signature, and more. I'll select the Add option here and add my listing checklist to get started. To begin working on the checklist, it's important to understand that there are two different task types in BoldTrail Backoffice. The first type is a document task signified by the document logo next to the task name. These tasks require you to either upload a document or use e-signature to complete a document. Additionally, each document task has an exempt button here. You can use this when a task on your checklist isn't applicable to the current transaction you are working. This exemption request will be reviewed by your compliance team and either be approved or possibly rejected, making the task required to complete. Next, we have action tasks identified by the checkboxes next to each task name. Action tasks are meant to be checked off once you have completed the action, and you cannot upload documents or use e-signature from action tasks. It's time to complete some of the document tasks. Notice to the right of each task, there is either an Upload button or a Use Forms button. Tasks with the Use Forms button can simply be clicked, and the necessary documents will be automatically loaded so you can send them for e-signature. Tasks with the Upload button can be clicked, and you will be prompted to upload the appropriate form to the task. I'll click the Use Forms button on my listing packet task first. I can now see the forms that have been assigned to this task. Keep in mind that you are able to remove forms that you don't want to send by clicking the X next to the form name, and you can add more forms to this packet using the Add More Forms feature here. Once I have the correct forms, I will press Next so we can configure the signers on the e-signature packet. We can see that my signers were auto-populated because I added these contacts when creating my transaction. You can modify these signers or add additional signers if needed. I can also designate a signer order by selecting the Assign Signer Order checkbox here. The area below, called Other Parties, can be used to populate other contacts' information on your e-signature document. These contacts are not signers and will not receive any requests to sign. Once the signers are configured, we can proceed to our forms by pressing Next. When preparing your forms for e-signature, BoldTrail Backoffice will auto-populate many fields using transaction information, users and contacts information, and brokerage information. Any additional fields will need to be filled out manually prior to sending, and BoldTrail Backoffice provides an array of forms tools you can utilize here. If you're preparing a form to send but don't have time to complete it, you can always use the Save and Close option here to save your progress. You can return at any time and begin where you left off. Once your forms are prepared, select the drop-down arrow here to proceed. We can choose to send the packet for e-signature, or we can download or print this completed document if we prefer to get a wet signature. Let's select Send for e-sign. This last step, before sending forms for e-signature, allows us to modify the signer section one last time if necessary. We can also CC recipients here. A CC recipient will receive a copy of these documents after they have been fully executed. Any signers on these forms will automatically receive a fully executed copy as well, so there's no need to CC any signers. I can also customize both the email subject and body here. Lastly, I will press the Send button to send these forms for e-signature. We can now see my task has a strike-through, and to the right, a status showing that we are waiting for signers to execute the document. I can keep track of my signer's progress here in the e-signature dropdown. Once a signer has either viewed or executed the forms, the sent status will update accordingly. Also, notice the three-dot menu next to each signer. I can use this feature to either resend my e-signature request or send it to a different email address if needed. There is also a Restart eSign option here. Use this feature if you need to make corrections to your forms. You can quickly access the forms as you last sent them, make corrections, and resend them for e-signature. This important tool allows for quick adjustments as many times as needed. Now, let's move to the next task down. This task has an upload button that I can use to upload a document from my computer. You can still complete this task using e-signature if needed by simply pressing the Use Forms option on the right. This will allow you to choose any association forms or library forms available and send them for e-signature. I'll go ahead and upload a document to this task. The next task is an action task that I will check off once I have installed my yard sign on the property. Let's go ahead and complete this task as well. Great. Now that we've covered how to complete your checklist tasks, let's look at some other great features you can use to help manage your transaction documents. We'll first navigate to Documents here. Then select the new option that appears, Unsorted. The unsorted folder is your working folder where you can manage documents prior to assigning them to your checklist tasks. You can drag and drop bulk documents from your computer to quickly upload them into your transaction. You can also pull documents into your transaction using our DocuSign integration by selecting Pull from DocuSign within the Add Document menu. Once you have documents in your unsorted folder, you will see an array of features you can utilize to manage your documents. First, you can use the Assign To button to add a document in your unsorted folder to a checklist task once it is ready. The Edit button can be accessed if you need to merge unsorted documents together, or more commonly, use the Split feature to separate large documents into smaller documents. When using the Split tool, you can assign split document pages directly to a checklist task with ease. You're also able to delete or rename documents using the Edit button. The Email feature allows you to quickly send one or more documents to any email address. The Download feature will download a copy of the selected document to your computer. And lastly, eSign. This allows you to quickly prepare and send any document for e-signature. This is commonly used when you receive an executed document from the co-op agent and need to gather signatures from your buyers or sellers as well. Now that we have learned all about checklists and document management, let's go back to our checklist and review how to send my completed forms to my compliance team for review. Our checklist is complete, and now it is time to get my documents reviewed. I'll use my action button here, then select Submit for review. This will notify my compliance team that my documents are ready and the status of my tasks are immediately updated to pending approval. That's it! Once my documents have been reviewed, each task status will be updated to either Approved or Rejected. Rejected tasks will need to be corrected and resubmitted to my compliance team. Now that we have covered everything you need to know about a day in the life of a Bold Trail back office agent, let's look at a few great features available to you as well. From the home screen of Bold Trail back office, let's select Dashboard first. The dashboard is your central hub for tracking personal production goals set by your brokerage, keeping you on top of your performance and progress. It also provides easy access to valuable resources, such as training materials, marketing tools, as well as important brokerage updates or announcements. Next, select Pipeline. The pipeline gives you immediate access into your business. You can track your current month, as well as the previous 5 months of performance. You can also filter by side represented and even view your net income pipeline or sales volume pipeline. This interactive tool will ensure that you are always on top of your production at a glance. Next, select the Reports option. Bold Trail Back Office gives agents complete visibility into the health of their business by providing 3 key personal reports. These reports offer valuable insights that help agents stay informed and make data-driven decisions. The first report shows which clients are bringing in the most business, allowing you to focus efforts on your top-performing relationships. The second report offers granular details about the transactions you're currently working on, helping you track progress and stay on track to close deals. Lastly, the production report provides a comprehensive view of all your past production, offering a historical perspective on your performance and growth. Each report also offers a detailed set of filters, allowing you to separate the data most important to you in an easy-to-read and exportable format. With these reports, you can engage more strategically with your business, optimize your workflow, and continually improve your results. Last, let's select Calendar. The Calendar section helps you stay organized by consolidating all transaction checklist tasks in one place. It allows you to easily prioritize your day, manage deadlines, and keep track of important milestones throughout each transaction. Even better, you can turn in documents and complete action tasks without having to navigate into your transactions. Simply upload your documents and check off completed action tasks. With everything in one view, you can stay focused and ensure no task is overlooked. Thank you for attending our Bold Trail Back Office Day in the Life of an Agent training session. We hope this training has been helpful and that you're now feeling more confident than ever navigating Bold Trail Back Office. If you have questions or need assistance, use the Need Help button in the lower right side of your Bold Trail Back Office screen. Here, you can visit our Help Center, packed with helpful videos and content, or select the Online Chat option to reach a support representative. Thank you, and we are excited to see your business grow faster than ever.